Okay. Hi, everyone. Let me know if you're here. I had to give my technical director the silent thumbs up. He came in and said, "What's wrong?" And I was just making sure everything's working okay. Let me know if you're here. It kicked me off a second ago. So let's hope you can see everything and now it's going to work. Since I have not been live for, my goodness, a couple, 2, 3 weeks, lots of times everything's a little funky and nothing wants to work right. And so we had a little bit of technical problem, but I think we're okay. So it may take a while for even anybody. Oh, there's Laura Stahl. Thank you, Laura. Hi. That lets me know we're on and people can see us. And so you never know when things are going to be crazy. I'm excited about tonight. I have to tell you. Um, I'm kind of like chatting to let people pop on because it's been a while, right? Um, I was creating cards for the new Alex Siberia release this week, and I knew when I created this one, like I don't know if you've heard, but hey, Kathy Dodd, I've said it recently quite a bit. I think my new favorite, hi Sharon, my new favorite color combination is something I never would have thought before. It's navy blue with hot pink and bright orange. And I'm a little obsessed right now. So, that's where the color, and of course there's yellow in here, but my thinking was because the yellow would be the buffer between orange and pink. So that's the thinking when I chose the colors for this one. Pretty easy, went right away with that. This is a new, Alex Siberia has a new release, and the supplies list is linked there in comments. Um, if you're on YouTube, please watch on YouTube. You know, that's the thing I'm always asking everybody to do now. But the supplies list is there, and this is the new layered stencil set. There's not even a stamp because we all know how easy these layered stencils are, right? Like I don't even want to mess with any layered stamp set again in my life. And I don't have it right here with me, but I think it's called Garden in Bloom. And it's I think like six layered stencils, and it's so easy. And look how pretty it is. They're kind of they definitely are like peonies to me. But I wanted to make them a little bit fallish and but really pop. And so look, I even created, look at the shaker in the background. Each little individual cell is its own shaker. So you always get shakers in every little bit. But that was how I picked the colors for this. Thanks, Lisa Sachs. Hi there. This card is actually being auctioned off this weekend. I'm participating, if you remember my card auction a couple weeks ago. Someone else in the industry, Nikki Baxter, I think is her last name, Nikki Hearts Cards, is doing an online auction, and I believe it starts tomorrow. And I'm auctioning this card off. So if you love it and you want it, please represent and go to Nikki Hearts Cards on Instagram or her website and vote for or bid on this card. So I knew right away I wanted these colors. Hi Stacy, because they're my new obsession. But then there are two people, artists, creators that I've been a little obsessed with lately. And Dawn, and I don't know if I'm saying her name right, Holslagle from W Plus 9. She's the owner of W Plus 9, and I think she's since closed her shop. She's a fantastic artist. She's also a designer for Picket Fence Studios now. And she created a card in somewhat these light and airy colors, very kind of shabby chic, funky. She created a couple of cards like a month or so ago. And I have to tell you, I've been obsessed with it. I go back and I look at it, and I go back and I look at it, and I think she's got a video on the Picket Fence Studios website. But there was something about those cards that I haven't been able to stop thinking about. And I love it. And then I'm also kind of following along someone new to me. She's not new, she's been around a while, and she literally even is like a designer for companies. Her name, I think, is Katie Perdiet. I don't know exactly how you pronounce her last name. But she designed for one of the companies in 49 in Market. And she's kind of mixed media in a controlled way. And I love what she does. She even has downloadable digital scrapbooking products. And I'm not really into that, but I just like what she does. And so she's been kind of inspirational for me lately, and then so has Dawn. So I knew I wanted to do something like this card, but I wasn't quite sure about picking colors. So I don't use them all the time, but sometimes when I'm having kind of a block and I need some help, I do pull out my color cubes. And I have people ask me all the time, do you really use them? And my honest answer here, I'll put my face on so we can chat for just a second. Hold on one second. I got to use the thing. Hey, everybody. Don't look at the messy craft room in the background. It is a disaster, and I know it. So people will ask me, do you really use the color cubes? And my answer is yes. Do I use them all the time? No. I wouldn't even say that I use them often, but I find myself reaching for them more lately. But no, I don't use them all the time. But do I use them? Yes. And I just have the cubes. I don't have there's these real cool books and stuff that go along with it. So I have the cubes, and now I'll show you my thinking and how I do use them. Okay, so when you get them, and they're not cheap, I'm going to tell you right now, but they are linked in my supplies list. And just as a reminder, all of my supplies are always at no cost to you. The links are really easy in one list. Everything is there. So you can even see the Alex Siberia release, all that. And then plus the color cubes are on there. I have an affiliate link for them. And they're not cheap, believe me. But I first of all, they look pretty in my craft room. I'm just saying. On the shelf, they look really pretty. But I do use them. So here's how I went about it yesterday. And that's where the whole idea for this color cube challenge kind of came about today. And I think I'm excited. It's going to be fun. I've never done this before, so I'm hoping it's going to work. And this is number 1 out of who knows how many we might do. So one thing that I told everybody is I'm going to use the new Alex Siberia die set that I used for this card right here, because it's all dies. And it's actually a layered floral die, so you can layer them up. And it's called Whimsy Blooms Bouquet Die Set. And Alex Siberia has a few layered floral dies, and I love them all. So if you're going to do this challenge with me, go pick one of your favorite kind of standalone die sets, floral die sets, and pull it out. And let's do this together. We can craft together tonight. So I'm going to use this one, new release, linked in my supplies list. And what I didn't say is, I donate every penny to charity. And I don't say that to talk about that publicly, because I don't talk about normally things that I like to do for charity. But it's important for me to always remind you that when you click an affiliate link, I donate the money to charity, because I think it's important for that. So that was the thinking and how this thing came about today. Oh, good. Debbie says she's wanted to check into them. Well, Debbie, tonight's the night. I'm going to tell you why I like them and what I use them for. So I knew I wanted to do something inspired by definitely Dawn and also kind of the mixed media fun stuff that I've been watching Katie do. And I knew I wanted it kind of to be shabby chic, and I kind of always loved my Nina Desert Storm cardstock, but I had no idea from there. So I pulled out one of the cubes, and I also kind of like this soft and airy color. So I knew I wanted to maybe look for something there. So literally, and I don't know if it's this one, so when you open it up, it just looks like this. And there's all these cards, and you get 2 boxes. And there's instructions on here, and it talks about matching colors and stuff. And to be honest, I've never read it. Maybe I should. So this one starts at 251. And obviously this one must be 1 to 250. And they're all numbered, so you know how to put them back together in order. And let's just pull one out. Not even looking. Ooh, look how pretty. It comes with a picture that has all of the color inspiration, and then it pulls out the main colors right here, okay? If you're going to create a card and you really struggle with this, here's my number one recommendation to make your life easy. Be inspired by the colors. Pick a card that you love the colors and then go from there. Now, it's giving you 5 colors. You know you can't throw all 5 colors really on a card in equal amounts and it's going to look good. Here's the trick. Look at the picture. What is the main color we see? Well, it's this dark, dark bluish purple black, right? If you want to make your life easy, make that your background color. Boom, easy. Because then these little jellyfish are where all the other pretty colors come into play. Now take a closer look. Are you ready? What is the second biggest color you see? It's really kind of shades of these pink, right? Maybe it's equal with the purple. You can kind of figure that out. Pick one primary foreground color and make that one about 50%, maybe 40%. There was an old rule, and I can't remember it, that people used to kind of go by. And someone help me out, because I can't remember exactly the formula, but it's like an old kind of easy trick. It's like 45 or 50% of your color is the primary one, and then like 30% is the secondary, and then what's that, 80? So you've got 20 left. So then maybe you do 10 and 10 of 2 lesser colors, something like that. I don't remember. It was like, I don't remember. Someone help me out. But that's a kind of along those lines, okay? So if we look, you can either pick purple or pink. We could debate it, but just pick one as your primary color, and you want that to show up about 50% in what you do as far as your focal point. And then pick a secondary one, and then another 1 or 2 as just little pops of another color, okay? But they've made it easy because you have 2 of these darker ones, or you can say 2 shades of purple and 2 shades of pink. As long as they're in the same color family, you should be somewhat okay. Does that all make sense? But this is an easy card. I'm glad I picked this one because it makes it easy. You know, how about make that your background color, and then you have pinks and purples. Easy peasy, right? They're not all this easy to like help you go. But you could also flip it around and make pink or purple your background color, and then make one of like a pretty navy blue a foreground color. Might be a little tricky. You have to play with it, but something to think about. Does that all make sense? Let me know. I don't know if y'all are listening, or sometimes when it gets quiet and people aren't saying much, it's because you're really thinking. So I like that. So it's numbered and we can put it back in order easy. If we flip it over, look what else it gives you. It takes the primary colors, gives them a name, gives them, I think this is on the Pantone color chart, or it might be one of the other ones. There's like CMYK, and there's like a hex chart. There's all different kinds of color charts. Pantone's the big industry one when paint companies, clothing companies, they're picking colors. They have literally those decks of colors that they can choose from, and that's the Pantone colors. And then they give you shades within that one color. So you can even, you don't have to pick these exact ones, flip it over, and you can match within that specific color, Pantone color, different saturations. Does that make sense? And I may not be using the correct art term for whether it's hue or saturation. I kind of need to study that, but I'm not an art major and I don't know right now exactly what the correct term for this would be. I tend to say saturation, but I don't know exactly, to be honest, what hue exactly means. But so that's the thing. So I pulled these out yesterday. And what I did was, I don't normally just like flip and pull one out and think, oh, I'm going to challenge myself and use those colors. I kind of have an idea, and then I start kind of going through and looking. But as I'm doing that, sometimes I pick out something crazy, like I did this one that was not what I was thinking, but it appealed to me. And I thought, oh, I could do that one, but it's just not what I was thinking. So, I'll be honest, I think the one that I pulled that I went with this was this one. So does it look exactly like that? No, because in the end, did I pull this really dark color? No, because I wanted to use that kind of hue, if I'm using that right, but in a much lesser form and keep it all soft and airy. So that's where you have to use artist discretion and use this as inspiration, but then change it to what works for you. So I started out with this. Oops, I lost something. I started out with this, and then it helped me pull my spray inks, which I'll show you in a second, and we got to this. Okay. So this was what I settled on. These were all the ones. I got to tuck this back in here somewhere. I don't know where it goes. These were all the other ones that I picked. And like I said, as I kind of thumbed through, I was keeping those colors in mind, like this one, but I just pulled some that appealed to me. So there's that one. And honestly, I normally don't look at the inspiration picture. When I'm just, most of the time personally, I'm looking at these, and then sometimes this will inspire me. So I liked these. And you see how these are similar somewhat. These are at a much heavier saturation, plus this purple, than what I was thinking originally. So this one's kind of in between. This one, I was thinking if I stuck with more the really earthy colors, right? Liked that one. If you know me, I love these three colors of kind of green blue. But then look how interesting. And look how that's the sky. If you have one of my paper collections from the winter time last year, I did a card that had a jade colored sky. It was really pretty and different. This is why, because I love these colors. But look how pretty that sand dune is. And look what's interesting. You have about, what do you call that? Maybe a third to almost a half of the card is this color, and about the other half is this color. So that's where the inspiration picture would be interesting. Okay. And then there's this one. I mean, that's crazy. And is it anything at all like what I was thinking originally? No, but it's pretty and I liked it. And then I also pulled this one, kind of middle of the road kind of colors, thinking this might be a little more fallish, or I could take it fallish. But in the end, I used the softer colors. Okay, does that all make sense? So I'm excited for this one. So I pulled, I think it was this card, okay? And then I started looking at colors. What did I want to do? Well, I knew I wanted to kind of follow Katie's kind of, and you guys have seen me, I've been doing this a lot lately, kind of spray inks, ink smushing. I think Meredith asked me if I did ink smushing on this one. You absolutely could. But I've really been trying to use my distress oxides and sprays lately. So it makes it so easy to do a background. So let me show you the background panels then that I did. Where did I put them? Oh, here they are. So here's what I created and used and the colors, okay? So I started shopping for my colors, and I normally pick an oxide and a stain. And the reason is, if you've used these, you know the oxides are very chalky, and the spray is more of a translucent, highly saturated spray watercolor kind of thing. I'm not a huge fan of the solid oxide kind of look. And even Tim Holtz will say this. They're not to be, don't think you have to use them exclusively. The stains really kind of brighten up the somewhat dull kind of oxide color sometimes. So I will often pick a spray stain to go along with the oxides. I do not have every oxide or every spray color, so sometimes I have to pick some that would go well together. So I picked some blues, speckled egg, and tumbled glass because I knew speckled egg would give me that soft grayish blue color like this. But I also pulled lost shadow. Let me find it because it's obviously more of a gray with a hint of blue in it. Okay. So I pulled that one also, not knowing what I would want to do. I pulled ice spruce and rustic wilderness for some greens. And I know I picked some other like soft green stains too. Oh, I even, frayed burlap, it's brown. But in my, bundled sage as a spray stain to coincide with the oxides. And then I wanted like the tannish color. And I was never happy with the colors that I picked because honestly, I haven't done swatches for all of the spray stains. I should know based on the ink colors exactly what I was going to get. But I pulled vintage photo. I even pulled spice marmalade for a little hint of yellow in there. Antique linen. I even pulled fossilized amber in both the spray and the stain to bring in the warmth of this one is not what I would call a warm tan. This one obviously is, and I was thinking more along the lines of a little bit of we got a lot of color theory going on in here, don't we? This is Desert Storm, my favorite, Nina. This is another company's, but obviously this one is a little bit more yellow. This one even is I think has a hint of yellow. And hi, Diana. So this is more of a warm, and that's what I was thinking in pulling a warm yellow, was to warm it up a little bit. And then finally, and I wasn't totally thrilled with this, but I did not want a pink color. So I pulled Victorian Velvet. Still might not have been my favorite. And it still turned out much darker, I'll be honest, than what I planned. So here's what I ended up with. Long story to get here. Here were my panels. I really liked the greens. Look how pretty they were. Okay. There's my greens. Liked those. Still came out much darker than I wanted. This obviously we didn't get here, but it's darker than this blue-green. It's definitely more green and still darker. I had to add some white gesso over it to lighten it up. Then this blue came out way more blue than I wanted, with speckled egg and I think tumbled glass. And it was not my favorite when I put it all together. And then here were the yellows. I really liked those. Look how pretty. And here was one of the die cuts that I didn't use. Look how pretty that ended up being. Really soft and pretty. Added a lot of white gesso over top of it to lighten it up. And then finally, here's the pink. The pink was pretty, came out way darker than I wanted. And look, can you see the detail in here? Look what I did. Scrapbook.com's rub-ons. I need to add that to the supply list. They have rub-ons. I'm a little obsessed with them right now. And this is the white ones. And so I did that to add some texture. Those rub-ons, I'm obsessed with rub-ons right now. I'm just saying. So, because I want the interest, I love now, splatters would have done the same thing, right? But look how cute that is. I'm telling you, I'm obsessed with them. So, phew, does that all make sense? After all this, did you use any of the spritz? I did not, Lisa, because I wanted this to be really organic and soft. And I could have added shimmery, but I wanted it to be more natural looking. So I thought about it, but after creating all these panels and die cutting, it was like, and splatters, I didn't need to add one more thing in here. So that was my thinking. Okay, but you know me and I'm loving this shimmer spritz. So, and did I see he's got a whole nother collection out now too? I have the original 12 and I think he's got more. Um, Tim, seriously, like I can't keep up, right? Because I love them. Okay, are you ready? How should we do this? After all that talking, oh my gosh, I'm 25 minutes in. I'm sorry. Let's do this. Let's pull 3 or 4 cards randomly. I'm not going to look at the numbers. I'm not going to look at the pictures. This might not go well. If I don't like any of them, we're not using them. We're going to pick again. I'm not going to challenge myself that much. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay. Are you ready? And I think those all came, because those are 200s. Let's use the other box. And I honestly don't know if one box leans towards maybe a warm family or a cool family. I haven't read enough about them because, you know, I just got them and wanted to use them. Let's use the other box. Are you ready? And this one, look, I don't know if you can tell. You can tell how much I've used it because a lot of the cards are like not nice and perfect and even. So I've pulled out a lot. Okay. You ready? They go in 1 to 250. So I'm not going to look. And let's pull 1. Ooh. Okay. Buckeye colors, kind of. Here we go. 2. Ooh. I don't hate that one. It's interesting. I don't know that it's, you know, let's move further back. Oh. You know what? I used colors like this on a Christmas card a couple years ago. Look at that. But look at that purple. Okay, are you ready? Ooh, there's another one. What do you think? Do we like these choices or do we want to put them back or keep going? These are the 4. I really think we should use one of these and see where it goes. Now, what do you think? Take a moment. Let's look at these. Now, I think this is an interesting, inspirational picture. Because when, like I said, I normally don't look at the picture first. I look at the colors. When I think of this, I automatically think kind of fall colors. But then look at the inspirational picture. That reminds me of like spring berry cooking, right? Didn't think about it that way. Unless these are currants and it's supposed to be fall currants, right? What's everybody thinking? And then this one, oh, it's like the lock thing, you know, where you see people put the locks. These are not colors I would normally pick, people. Like, I don't think I want that one. Please don't pick that one. Then we've got this one. This one's kind of interesting because I love this shot of eggplant here. And then I'm not a fan of this brick red or this, you know, this is a warm red. If you ask me, this is not a warm red. This is a cool red and this is a warm red, but that's just me. Love this color. And you know, I'm always a fan of black. And I like that they use the black background. How pretty would it be to use the eggplant background? So pretty. See? Hi, Alexis. Neither would I. And that's why I love the color cubes. And that's why I thought doing this color challenge would be a lot of fun. So, who's crafting with me? I hate to point, but I do because I get so excited. Who pulled some dies and who's going to do this with me? I know. See, Lisa? And then this one. How crazy is this color? These are nuts because here's a really pretty dark blue sky, but they did it in the water. Like it's got almost a hint of purple in it, right? Really look at it and think about what you're seeing. And here's like a warmish brick orangey red. And then you have this like warm yellow. And then look at this. I don't know if you can really see it in person. It's more green. It's like a soft sagey green and it's not gray like it looks on screen. It's definitely a soft sagey green. And then look at this one. It's like dark burgundy with a hint of purple and a hint of brown, right? So let's vote. What do you think? Please don't. We're not picking this one. I'm going to tell you right now. Forget that one. I can live with these. Oh, I can't tell you how stressed I am about this. I have to tell you. Okay. I know I'm such a nerd. I'm sitting here in my craft room laughing at myself. Um, Come on, I need everybody to pick. What are we gonna do? And don't be cruel. Don't be cruel. Everybody pick one. Um, if I'm picking something that I want to do, because y'all aren't responding, um, I want to throw that one out. And these I could live with. Do I want this one? Not really. But do I want this one? I don't know. What's the third one, Lisa? 197. This is 197. Come on. 197. And that's 233. Pick between those two. 197, 233. And I'm going to use this new Alex Siberia set because I think it's so pretty. Okay. And then we're going to talk about all the different ways we can color it. Ha, Alexis, I threw out the one that was cruel. I threw out 117. Like, that one's not cruel. This one would have been really bad. So I threw that one out. But I'm throwing that one out too. Because no one responded. Sorry. Okay. Diana says 233. Oh, okay. And hi, Donna. Oh, good. Everybody's saying 233. That was what I was hoping for. Can you really see it? Like, the background is definitely this color. It's like marble. And then this, now let's look at these colors. This is a yellow green, right? And then we've got yellow. So these two we know are next to each other on the color wheel, right? Because green's right in between yellow and blue. So we can pick yellow greens and we know the yellow's going to go well together. Think of the color wheel. And then we've got these two kind of reds. They're obviously in the same color family. And then we've got like this really, now they have blackberries on here as this color, but really on here it's more black. Let's look at the back. See, now look, when you lighten it up, it does have, it's on, have you ever been to the paint store and have you really figured out, have they explained to you how they put it together? Even a gray has a background color of blue, of green, of pink. So they're all connected, and then some are purple. They're grouped that way. So if you really look at this black, it has a base that has a little hint of that magenta eggplant purple in it, right? So we can look at this to see different hues. Okay. So, and we know purple is made with red. So these colors kind of coordinate. So are you ready? Who's going to do this with me? Okay. Pull out a die and let's get started. And I don't know how much we're going to get done. Now, let's talk about how can we color this? When I get a new, let's say, standalone die set, what's the most simple thing we could do right now and make our lives easy? Anybody? We could use colored cardstock, right? I can go, if you have a good stash, someone I know named Diana has every color ever known to man in her stash. I could take this card in and pick colored cardstock right away, pull out the colors, and this is normally what I do if I'm going to use cardstock, and sit down and make a super simple card. So that's where we're going to start. Now, if I wanted to, then we could die cut it out in white and then ink blend them and color with inks. Number 2 easy way. And then the number 3 way that would be a more long and involved process is we could do something funky and use our sprays and our stains and make these backgrounds, right? It takes a while to do that. So I don't want to do that right now. We could always demo that. So now Sharon says die cutting it in white is quicker. I don't know, Sharon. I don't know if I agree with you on that one. I think doing colored cardstock, as long as I can quickly, and if you know what you've got, I think I can go match some colors and throw together a card pretty quickly. So I'm going to leave the screen, and I know this is not optimal. I'm going to go as fast as I can and try to pick some colors colored cardstock. So if y'all are crafting with me, take this time, go get a die set, a standalone die set, and go pull some colored cardstock or pull inks and start die cutting in white to color with inks if you want. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves, okay? Okay, sorry. Kathy, it takes me a while. I like this is not easy. And here's the thing. I know I wish we could play music, but you know, they can't do that. Y'all, did you go pick colors too? It takes a minute, right? Um, here's what I did. I will normally pick 3 colors, especially if I have them in my stash for each one of these. And then as long as you're in the same family, just like on the back, it's okay to kind of switch it up just a little bit as long as it's in that realm, right? So here's what I do. And you know, you got to work with what you have. And the thing is, I know I have a bunch of Stamp Market cardstock. It might be in a box out there and I might have to find it. Okay, but here's my greens. This is a little bit, has a hint of warmth in it, but this is what I've got, right? Good enough, okay? And you can add one more of these in, like let's say for foliage, use a couple shades of this green. It's okay. Because it's going to be okay as long as it's in that same family. Then I did not have this buttery, warm yellow, but I had a couple. Okay. So I pulled these. So there's my yellows. I'm fine with those. Definitely don't like this one now that I'm looking at the colors. Something else that I just thought of that I do have in some of these colors is that I really like. If you did the scrapbook.com SBC Fest with me in the fall and I created a fall card, I use paper packs that have a lot of shades in it. And now that I think about it, that would be a good resource to use for this too. Then for these reds, I had a couple different things. Did that just say peach? That looks like yellow. You know what? Let's see. It does say peach, and you are right. See, I didn't even look at that. That is not peach, is it? But don't pay attention to the names. I don't pay attention. Like, I hadn't even read that. And that is silly because that is yellow and it is not peach. So, yeah, Alexis, good eye. Didn't even see that. So this is okay. Not thrilled with it. And this red is a little bit brighter than that one. But then this one, and this is all I have left of this, went very well with that. And then this would be black. So here's the only other thing. Let me see real quick if I can find the SBC paper packs, because there might be some good colors in there. And we should use it if we've got it, right? Hold on one second. I think they're right here in a pile. Okay. So we might even need a part 2 to this video because this is already taking so long. But look, bear with me. So look what I found. Do you think maybe they're using color cubes? Because look, I found this soft color, but look at the yellows, the warm yellows, and then look at the greens. Now these are more of a blue, of a green blue than the yellow greens, right? But I found that one in the closet. This one obviously has maybe a red and a black in there. And look at that light color, which would be, look how much it matches. So definitely keep in mind what you've got, right? Look at this red. That's close enough. And I like this red better, right? Because that's a cool red. So keep these in mind when you're, now that's a darker gray, and then it's got the 3 shades of gray. We've got some different greens. Those greens wouldn't work, but that red would, wouldn't it? Look at that one. Very easy. And then look at the red. It's a brighter red, but it's still going to coordinate, right? So that's an idea. And then I don't like those colors. And then you have to even think of your pattern paper, and you could throw one in there and die cut it. Look at these colors in here. You know, die cutting out of like this pretty paper. Wouldn't that be pretty? Just for some interest in your die cut. Don't be afraid. Look at that. That's pretty. Use this as inspiration and pull these colors out for something. You know, you can get inspiration anywhere. And if you aren't a fan of the color cubes, look how pretty that one is. I also like to go on Pinterest, and I've told you this before, and I will pin inspirational images or inspirational color palettes. Look how pretty the cobwebs are. So think of that. You know, it's something else you could do. You don't necessarily have to have the color cubes. And then look, this paper pad, it's very subtle. It would just give you texture in there. I didn't know if there'd be any of our, I mean, some of our colors are used in this paper pad. Look, we could use this one for sure as our red. Okay, so something to think about. So let's pull these. There's some yellows that might work. Anybody else humming the Jeopardy hold? I know, seriously, Donna. And then I have stuff falling because I have just stuff everywhere. Okay, so let's pull. I'm going to pull some of these yellows. You can tell I've never even used this pad. Look, love this yellow for this. Perfect match. Let's pull this. I'll pull 2 sheets out. I do like these scrapbook.com colors. They're 80 pound, I believe, and we can look. Oh, look. This is a little bit lighter, but into my eye, it would be a lighter hue of that, and it would be an in-between, and then you don't have so many dark colors, because this is real heavy dark right here. I'm saying we're going to pull this. Don't think you have to play, you know, stick to, oh, and look how pretty that color is. Oh my, I love that one. What a pretty fall card it would make, right? Now, these greens, similar. We might use this. I'm not hating that either. Is it exactly a match? No, but I could live with it. It's still a yellow green. It's just a little bit more earthy. And then let's see. Oh, look how pretty that blue is. Okay. So we've got those. And then I really liked this one to go with that darker red. We have to decide which one we want. Since I'm using this kind of paper a lot, I think I'm going to go with that one. And then see if there's anything else. Ooh, look at that green. So we've got kind of a darker and a lighter. Why didn't I just think of these books right away? Look at those stripes. Those would go. Look how well they go with our palette. Okay. So here's what we've got. I'm going to get rid of these. Now we have to narrow it down, and this is how I go about doing this. So we've got a lighter green and a darker green. And, you know, also you could go watch my SBC Fest video because I really talk about picking colors for that also, for that fall card. And then we've got our yellows that I really like that go along with that. And maybe we'll pick a lighter one just to brighten it up if we need it, but I doubt it. That's too bright. Don't like that. And this one is too bright. Don't like that one. And let's go ahead and do these darker colors. There was the one that I said I liked for that. Even though it's not an exact match, I like it best. Kick this out. Kick this one out. Kick these out. And then we've got these. Now, here's where you can really kind of change things if you really need to. We could pick a super dark green, or we could go with the black or something like that. And then I did pull for this one. I did not have a kind of a light, as light of a gray as I wanted. So we could go with one of these, but we might not use them at all. Okay. But we just need kind of, we could even put white in here. White is a neutral. Browns are neutrals. You can almost always add those to anything, and a gray. Okay. I would say white. And then we could throw in the black as the background color, right? Or we could use this as a background color. Lots of options here. Could even use the green, you know. If we look at the inspirational picture, they're using white or the light color, okay? It's going to take it a completely different look. And sometimes I will make a background in the light and the dark and go from there. So let's start cutting some flowers just to get going, okay? 7:52. What do you guys think about doing part 2 next week? Because we went through all of the color theory and we have our card chosen. We know what we're going to do, but we've almost been on an hour. Sharon says there was a white one in one of these packs. Let's go look. What was it? Or a light color? Was it? So I need y'all to tell me, what do you think about coming back next week? And wait a minute, next Thursday, I may not be able to be live. It was this color, light gray, not my favorite. Yeah, there's not one in here, Sharon, that I would pick for a background personally. So it would have to be 2 weeks from now, or I go live during the day at some point. Yeah, I don't like any of those. And there's nothing in here. Oh, yes, Lisa says it's Halloween. So, yeah, I can't go live. I knew there was a reason. Couldn't remember what next Thursday is. And then the following Thursday, I will be teaching in Destin. So we would have to go live at another point. I'm thinking maybe we could finish tomorrow. What do you think? Part 2. During the day. We'll have to see. Okay, so here's what I would start with. Right away, I would pick these colors and start creating flowers, because obviously our petals are going to be here. And if you look, you can layer these up like this. Look how our colors almost match. And I'm almost tempted. There was another light color. We're going to use the executive decision, because I think we need a lighter color in here to soften it up. Hold on. Where'd that book go? I'm going to add in one of the lighter colors that was in one of these. Ooh, there's another brownish one. It wasn't in these. I have to find it. How about this? Because it's already 8 o'clock. Sharon's going to be at the beach next week. I'm going to do this. And even if you can't join me, sometime tomorrow afternoon, I will go live again, and we're going to do part 2. And then at the end of the day, I can either splice it together or we just have 2 parts to it. But the whole color theory was the first part of this and how we chose the card. Let's actually make the card tomorrow. It'll actually let me think about it, which is always better. I can create something a little bit better. And I'm still looking for this other book that I had. And let's put this together. Okay. Tomorrow afternoon, which would be Friday, I am teaching in Destin, Sharon, at a crop over Veterans Day weekend, and it's at the Pelican Beach Resort, and it's for Scrap Happy is the name of it. And if you go to my Facebook page or on the Nashville Craft Retreat page, the link is there. She might be sold out already, full, but I'm teaching classes in Destin in 2 weeks, and it's gonna be fun. So you want a sneak peek? I'll show you. While we're at it, just a second, I'm going to teach a class using Crafty Meraki. And here's one of the samples. We're going to talk about foiling and her super easy, effortless artistry papers. And we're going to create like 4 different projects with that. And that's one class. And then a second class is going to be creating your own ephemera and we're using Catherine Pooler products. And then the third class is tags. And we're using Simple Stories Vintage Holly Jolly collection, paper and ephemera. So that's what we're doing. I'm really excited. So that's what I'm teaching. That's where I'm going. So much stuff going on in the craft room this week. Don't forget Nikki's card auction this weekend. Alexis says she's picked out some inks that'll work, and I can't wait to see what you do, Alexis. But go back and look for our video when we finish it. I know. No, there's no Scrap Happy store. She just puts on a crop every year. She used to have an online store, I think. And so now she just puts on the crop, and it'll be a lot of fun. So I'm going to look for that other really soft corally peachy color that went along with these, because I like to have another layering color within this color family. And let's meet back sometime tomorrow. I'll let you know, okay, for part 2 and actually creating this card. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see everybody tomorrow, hopefully. And I think this is fun. Let's do this. And I think this color challenge, now that I've explained it all, the next time we can pick a card and we'll know what to do, right? We'll already know how to go about doing it. All right. So I will talk to y'all later. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everyone.